Here's some homework help on Chapter 4 review homework. And so we're looking at factoring the polynomial completely. So for number 20, we have 2z to the 5th minus 12z cubed plus 10z. So you always take a look at GCF first. So the GCF is 2z. And so that gets written in the front, 2z. Then we're left with z to the 4th minus 6z squared plus 5. Then you factor completely using whatever method you're most comfortable with. I'm going to go ahead and do the x method. So it multiplies to 5, that adds to negative 6. Well, that is negative 1 and negative 5. And you can always double check. Negative 1 times negative 5 is positive 5. Negative 1 plus a negative 5 is a negative 6. So those are the factors. So now we can write this as 2z times z squared minus 1 times z squared minus 5. So remember, this is to the 4th power, and then so we separate that. We just cut that in half. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then if you try to multiply it back, z squared times z squared is z to the 4th. Then we see if we can factor further. And looking at this, we can factor this z squared minus 1 again. So that is a difference of 2 squares. So now we can rewrite this. This is 2z times, then the z squared, you write that as z, and then z minus 1 and a z plus 1. So that separates into 2 different factors. And then the z squared minus 5, we will leave it as it is. Okay, and so now that is factored. Now, just in case Big Ideas is asking for you to factor z squared minus 5 further, I would not. I would just ask you to stop here. But just in case for Big Ideas, z squared minus 5, you could do the same thing, right? If you square root the front and square root the back, that just becomes z minus 5 and z plus square root of 5. So notice you're just taking the square root of the front, square root of the back, and it's the same. Okay, and so that would replace the z squared minus 5. So let's take a look at number 22. Show that x plus 2 is a factor of x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 27x minus 54. So show that x plus 2 is a factor. What we're going to do is use synthetic division. And so if it's x plus 2, we write negative 2. And then we look at if we're missing any terms. So this is 4, 3. Oh, we're missing a 0x squared. And then minus, and then 1, and then 0. So then we write our coefficients. 1, 2, 0, negative 27, negative 54. And then remember, when this is negative 2, that factors to x plus 2, whatever it told us. So that way when we're factoring, we remember that we should write that as one of our factors. So let's continue to do synthetic division. This is 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2, so this is 0. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, so that's 0. And this is 0 again, negative 27. You add that. Negative 27 times negative 2 is positive 54, and that is a 0. So write x to the 0, that's the constant. X to the 1st, x squared, and x cubed. So now this factors as x plus 2, and then we have x cubed, and then this is all 0, so you don't have to write that, and then minus 27. So this is our difference of cubes pattern. So difference of cube pattern, remember that is x cubed minus b, or a cubed minus b cubed. You rewrite that in that form. Then that's a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So that's what we need to do with this one. So we have x cubed minus 27. Let's rewrite that as x cubed minus 3 cubed. So therefore, this is our a and this is our b. So let's continue to factor. So we write the first part, a minus b. So that's just x minus 3. There are no exponents there, just like there are no exponents here, right? This is cube, and then you just write the numbers that are there, the a and the b without the exponent. Then it's a squared. A squared is just x squared plus a times b. So 3 times x is 3x. And b squared, so 3 squared is a positive 9. Now this is factored completely.